Hello and welcome. This is Cherie with Rehash Fiber, and I've got a great sweater here for you today. It is called the Thinking Kitty Sweater and is by Tonje Haugli. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. All the designer's information will be in the show description. I first saw this pattern on Instagram and locked onto it. I thought, this is great. I want to tell you that it is a pattern in children's sizes only. But there's a wide range. It goes from 6 months to 11 years. So you've got a lot of room to play with. Looking at her Instagram page, she has got the similar style, but has other creatures in the Fair Isle yoke. So check her out on Instagram and all those really cool patterns. Now, I wanted to make it for my adult daughter, who is soon to be a veterinarian. She is petite. However, I did need to make adjustments and make the pattern bigger. Now, I did that on my own. Here in this show, we're going to honor this pattern and the designer, and I'm telling you, it's children's sizes only. If you strictly follow patterns, have in your mind for children. If you are able to make adjustments yourself, then that is up to you on how you do it. I did have to make adjustments. It just took lots of thinking, lots of researching, graph paper, a little trial and error, some swatches. However, I did get it to an adult small size that I'm very pleased with. Now, her pattern calls for US 4 and 5 knitting needles, which is 3.5 and 4 millimeter, and a Dale Merino yarn. It's worked top down. The yoke is not a difficult Fair Isle pattern at all. And then when you get done with that, it's smooth sailing all the way down. You can just knit like crazy. And I always like when there's that easy part of a pattern that just lets you cruise. Now, my one advice for you is if you use high contrast colors up here like I did, you're gonna need to strand some. And the rule of thumb in stranding is no longer than 1 inch. However, I went even shorter here. I just have a thing, I don't want fingers to get caught in the yarn behind this. My stranding was less than 1 inch, but I still had to do it because you do not want that little speckled effect in the light color. Her pattern is available on Ravelry. All you have to do is put in Thinking Kitty Sweater. It'll take you right to it. All right, while we're talking about cats, I have a whole nother topic to talk to you about. All right, so this year for me, and I'm sharing it with all of you, is the Use the Stash Challenge. I want to give you tips along the way. I've already given you some patterns, and I'm also working on it myself. I had an underdresser full of cat yarn. That's the first thing I learned to spin, and I had a ton of cat fur to learn with. And it's just sitting there, and I was wanting it used up. So I went back to a pattern I've used before and made a show about, which I will link at the end. It is called the Linen Stitch Scrap Rug, and you can use as many strands of yarn, any colors you want, and you just make it the size you want. Well, what I did is I double stranded the thick cat yarn that I had and just went to town with one of the largest crochet hooks I had and made a wonderfully thick rug. And what's really cool, I love this, when you take itchy yarn that would be very scratchy on your skin, but yet when you make it into a rug, it feels soft on your feet. It's wonderful. So this rug is now something beautiful. The yarn is out of the underdresser and being used, and I'm just really happy. And you know what was really cool for Use the Stash Challenge is every day, 2 cakes of yarn, poof, gone, maybe more. And I was like, yeah, we're getting through it. So if you want to just get through and use up a whole lot of yarn, and have something to show for it that you can use or somebody else can use, go for the Linen Stitch Scrap Rug. All right, lastly, if you like to use your fiber art skills in service for others, I have an opportunity for you. At my church, I am part of Angel Stitches, the fiber and sewing group, and my church is going to Belize in October, and they said they can use baby caps, baby blankets, lap blankets, washcloths, and dish towels. If you're just hankering to make something for somebody else in need, feel free. I'm your point of contact, so what you can do is email me at rehashfiber@outlook.com. I'll happily give you my address to mail the items to. All you need to do is put Belize service project on there, and I will take it straight to the church. It's just nice to know about these things in case you have a hankering for it. Also, because it's used the stash challenge, you can look at your stash and think, what could I get out of here and somebody can use over there? So it's just an option for you. Well, all right. How about these cats? A whole bunch of fun. All right. Happy knitting and thanks for watching.